It's rivalry week, and you know what that means. You throw records out the window. Get rid of them. Forget what you know, because rivalry week does not care. It is one of the best weekends of the entire college football season every single year, and I have a feeling that this year's edition is going to be more chaotic than usual. Today, we've got 5 games that you have to watch this weekend. 5 games, every single one of them has massive college football playoff implications, and that doesn't even include 3 other games that we're going to be predicting here in the coming days. Lots of massive games this weekend, games that will have championship implications, playoff implications, games that will result in upsets, games that will drastically shake up the rankings, games that will create insane scenarios heading into conference championship weekend. This is what it's all about. Let's get into it right now here on the Gridiron Expert. Kicking things off, let's go to Atlanta. Clean, old-fashioned hate, baby. Georgia and Georgia Tech, where the Bulldogs have won 7 straight in this series. Last year, of course, was an instant classic, right? Georgia winning 44-42 in 8 overtimes. We will be very, very fortunate if we can get a game similar to that this year. I unfortunately don't think that will happen. Why is this game important? Let's get into that first. Why is it important? Well, I'll say this. It lost a little bit of its luster when Georgia Tech lost to Pittsburgh, right? We missed out on an opportunity to find an energetic Georgia Tech team that had already clinched their spot in the ACC championship coming into this game. Which again is at a neutral site in Atlanta, had that opportunity. They missed it when they lost to Pittsburgh. Very, very unfortunate there, right? But it's still very important because if the Yellow Jackets win this game, it won't help them make the ACC championship. It's not going to help them get to the playoff, but it could shake up the entire playoff race by giving Georgia their second loss. I would still expect the Bulldogs to make the playoff, still could make the SEC championship, but seeding would go a long way. If Georgia made the SEC championship and they lost, that would change everything too. That'd be their third loss. Lots at stake here, right? Lots at stake in this game. The kicker for this, though, the reason we're going to be siding with the Bulldogs for the 8th year in a row is Georgia Tech's defense and obviously their mentality, right? Look, everybody gets up for a rivalry game. Even if you're winless, you're going to get up for your rivalry game. You hit a little bit harder, you play a little smarter, you play a little faster. You want to win this game. And I have no doubt Brent Key, who loves this Georgia Tech program, would love nothing more than to end their season with a win over their rival. But Georgia Tech's defense is atrocious. It's bad. I really thought they'd come through last week against Pittsburgh, and had it not been for some bad turnovers, maybe they would have. They showed some fight after getting down 28-0. But the Yellow Jackets are giving up over 400 yards per game, including 243 passing yards per game. Last week against Pittsburgh, they gave up 226 through the air, 187 on the ground, so a balanced attack. And I think Kirby Smart and Georgia are going to eat that up. Gunnar Stockton, I think, is going to have himself a field day against this Georgia Tech defense. All Georgia has to do is to shut down the Georgia Tech run game. Yes, Haynes King has had decent games. Yes, he, prior to the Pittsburgh game, was really on fire. Maybe he has himself a decent game again. But I just can't pick Georgia Tech to win this game. If they had beaten Pittsburgh, I would have been very inclined to. But I feel like this team a little bit hungover after such a devastating loss. A defense that really can't stop anything is going to struggle against this Georgia team that certainly has everything still left to play for. Give me the Bulldogs to win this game and improve to 11-1. The Yellow Jackets, though, while they will lose this game, I think, could still make the ACC championship if some chaos ensues within their conference. It's not likely, but there's still a chance for them if some crazy outcomes take place. So this game doesn't hurt them at all in the standings, doesn't hurt everything, but ultimately I think their hopes for that are done, and they will fall to the Bulldogs. Oregon at Washington. Let's do this one. I'm very excited for this game. This is a trap game, a massive trap game for the Ducks, right? And it's simple. Oregon, you win this game in Seattle, you're a playoff lock. You probably won't make the Big Ten championship game. You could, maybe, if Michigan beats Ohio State. But besides the point, you don't have to. You don't have to worry about that. You win this game, you're 11-1, you're a playoff lock. The end. You lose this game, Washington's not going to the playoff. They're not going to the Big Ten championship. You lose this game, Oregon is a 2-loss team. They're probably still getting in. They're probably still getting into the playoff, but it's a matter of what seed would they be. They probably would have to go on the road. So lots at stake here for the Ducks. They obviously don't want to sweat anything out on Selection Sunday. Last year, the Ducks snapped a 3-game losing streak to the Huskies. They won that game last year in dominating fashion, snapped a 3-game losing streak. 5 of the last 7 games between Oregon and Washington have been decided by 1 possession, so we've seen some fun ones. The million-dollar question here, keep in mind, Seattle's a tough place to play. At one point this year, they had one of the nation's longest winning streaks before losing at home to Ohio State. The million-dollar question is, what quarterback shows up for Washington? Which Damon Williams shows up for Washington? Because they have 3 losses this year, all of them coming against very good defenses in Ohio State, Michigan, and Wisconsin. I know it sounds weird to group Wisconsin into that, but the Badgers, despite having a poor record, have a very good defense. And here are his stats in those games. Okay, against Ohio State, he only mustered 173 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, but Washington only mustered 6 points. Against Michigan, 209 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And against Wisconsin, 134 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. All of those losses. So in those games, in the 3 losses, Damon Williams, all against good defenses, mustered 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, and threw for over 200 yards 1 time, never threw for over 210. It's not a good sign. Not a good sign when you realize that Oregon has the number 1 passing defense in the nation. Number 1 passing defense in the nation, giving up just 127.3 passing yards per game. Yeah, they were exploited a little bit last week against USC. That was to be expected against a high-flying USC offense led by Jaden Mayava. Lincoln Riley, of course, at the helm. But, Damon Williams isn't Jaden Mayava. Washington isn't led by Lincoln Riley. I do not think that Washington's going to have that much success through the air. I think Oregon's rushing defense can shut that down, make this Washington team one-dimensional. And at the end of the day, the Oregon offense simply is just too good. 471.8 yards per game. That's what the Ducks are averaging. They're dominant on the ground. Dante Moore is playing some fantastic football right now. Give me the Ducks. It's a trap game, and it could be close, but give me the Ducks and Dan Lanning to pull this one out, finish the year 11-1, and make the playoff for the second year in a row. Virginia Tech at Virginia. It's not a top 25 matchup. Yeah, it's not a ranked versus ranked matchup. Everybody goes, why is this game on here? Virginia Tech's 3-8. And the only thing they have to be excited about right now is the fact they just hired James Franklin. Well, I'll tell you why this is a big game. Virginia, man. Virginia. They're 9-2. They're 6-1 in ACC play. If Virginia wins this game, they will go to the ACC championship, where they will be 1 win away from the college football playoff. Let's think about that. Historically, how bad Virginia football is. The fact that they could be in the ACC championship game, and the fact that they could be one of the final 12 teams fighting for a national championship. That is an amazing, amazing job by Tony Elliott's squad. But why is this game on here? Oh, Virginia Tech's 3-8. Virginia should win this game easily, right? Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Do you know history? Virginia Tech dominates Virginia just about every single year. The Hokies have won 4 straight games over the Cavaliers. They have won 19 of the last 20 meetings. 19 of the last 20 meetings Virginia Tech has won over Virginia. And of those 19, only 6 of them were decided by 1 possession. So this is where the rivalry aspect comes into it. The mental aspect of rivalry comes into it. Virginia, on paper, is the better team. They have the better record. They have way more to play for. But can mentally Virginia get over this hump and find a way to beat this Virginia Tech team, who's had some bad teams that have beaten Virginia before, find a way to beat them, get over that hump, and get this signature victory, right? This is where it all comes into play. This is where the chaos of rivalry week can come into play, right? But I'm here to tell you, I'm going to go bold. I'm going to pick Virginia. I know. I'd love to see an upset too, right? I think we'd all love to see some chaos and some upsets. But this Virginia Tech team really is bad, guys. It really is bad. They showed a little fight against Miami, but against Miami, they got torched by Carson Beck, 320 yards and 4 touchdowns. Chandler Morris, if he can stay healthy, he can put up similar numbers against this Virginia Tech defense. All the Cavaliers have to do is shut down the Virginia Tech run game, and the Hokies average nearly 190 rushing yards per game, but you slow that down, you're going to win the game. It's also at home. I know it's an in-state rivalry game. A lot of Hokie fans are going to show up. It's at home. You're at home with a spot in the ACC championship on the line, an offense that looks good, when your quarterback's healthy. Give me Tony Elliott's squad to find a way. I think it's very, very close. I really do. But the Cavaliers find a way. They get over the hump. They end the 4-game streak. They beat Virginia Tech, and they go to the ACC championship. We don't know who they'll play yet, but they're going to go, and they're going to be 1 win away from the college football playoff. Vanderbilt at Tennessee. Why is this game on here? Another in-state rivalry game, sure. Neither team right now is a playoff lock. Tennessee's pretty much out of the playoff race. This is a bigger game for me because of Vanderbilt. And that's why the game's so interesting to me. It's going to be a top 15 Vanderbilt team that's right on the fringe of that 12-team playoff. And here's the thing. If Vanderbilt wins this game, they're going to be 10-2. The only losses to Alabama and Texas, both on the road. They're going to be hovering around the number 12 spot in the college football playoff rankings. Teams are going to lose on rivalry week. Teams are going to lose in the conference championship that are ahead of them as well. So you can't help but wonder, if Vanderbilt beats Tennessee, could the Commodores, with the chaos surrounding them, slip into the playoff as that maybe number 11, number 10 seed? Could that happen? That's a realistic possibility. But again, none of that matters if they don't beat Tennessee. Here's the thing. I think they will. I'm going to go a little bold here. I'm going to pick Vanderbilt to beat Tennessee in Knoxville. They have not won there since 2017. They've lost 6 straight games to the Volunteers. But I believe in Diego Pavia. Both these teams have horrendous passing defenses. Vanderbilt ranking 105th against the pass. Tennessee, 118th. But Diego Pavia, 484 yards last week against Kentucky. Showed out on senior day, his final game in Nashville. Give me Vandy to go on the road. If I had to pick a quarterback to make the plays when it matters between Joey Aguilar and Diego Pavia, I'm going to pick Pavia. His final game, a regular season game, I should say, with Vanderbilt, with everything on the line, hoping to have a chance on Selection Sunday. Give me Clark Lee's squad to show up, show out, and pull off a little bit of an upset on the road, stunning the crowd at Neyland Stadium and giving Vanderbilt a 10-win season. Could be a high-scoring game, but I'm picking Pavia to lead them to a 10-win season and make things very interesting for Vandy come Selection Sunday. Finally, the Iron Bowl. The Iron Bowl. Got a couple stats on this. All right. Alabama's won 5 straight in the series. Okay? They've won 5 straight Iron Bowls. Pretty good streak, right? But crazy things happen in rivalry week, especially in the Iron Bowl, especially at Auburn. So two stats. Number one, Bama, as of late, has not played well at Jordan-Hare Stadium, right? 2023, and keep in mind, this is Kalen DeBoer's first Iron Bowl at Auburn. Last year, it was in Tuscaloosa. He won. Good for him, right? But even under Nick Saban, they struggled at Auburn. 2023, Bama won 27-24 on that miraculous 4th and 31 play. In 2021, they beat Auburn on the road 24-22 in 4 overtimes. 2019, they lost 48-45. 2017, they lost 26-14. But in Tuscaloosa, in 2018, 2020, 2022, 2024, they won those 4 games by an average of 24 points. In Tuscaloosa, Bama thrives. On the Plains, not so much. 2 miraculous victories and 2 losses in the last 4 meetings. Factor in this now. Alabama's 9-2 this year. They win this game, they're going to the playoff. You lose this game, they're probably out. So massive stakes on the line for Bama in this game. We've talked about how different Alabama plays at home versus on the road. In their 4 home wins against Power 4 teams this year, Bama has won by an average of 17 points per game. They did lose their last home game, or last Power 4 game at home, to Oklahoma, in a game that was uncharacteristic for them. A lot of turnovers in that game. But in the 4 wins, 17 points per game. They did lose the season opener on the road against Florida State, so that's a loss. And then their other 3 road wins in conference play this year have all come by 1 possession. 2 3-point wins, 1 7-point win against South Carolina, an average of 4.3 points per game. Great at home, not so good on the road. Now you factor in that Auburn's got Deuce Knight, who had an amazing debut. Granted, it was against Mercer, but a great debut as a Tiger. 401 total yards and 6 total touchdowns, including 162 rushing yards. Bama's got to worry about that. Bama's got to be cautious about that. Got to be very, very nervous about that. And so this is an interesting game. Can Bama stop a hyped up Auburn team that has nothing to lose, interim coach, new quarterback, dual threat, mobile quarterback, by the way? Can they stop him on the road? Can this offense exploit an Auburn passing defense that ranks 99th in the country? How does Ty Simpson fare against that? In Bama's secondary, that's one of the best in the nation, a top 10 unit. Can they slow down Deuce Knight? Again, playing against Mercer is one thing. Playing against an Alabama team with a playoff spot on the line is another. If Alabama's defense can come in here and make this Auburn team one-dimensional, they're going to win this game. You force Deuce Knight to win this game through the air, you're going to be just fine. You allow him to run all over you, it's going to be close. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be an interesting day. And I'm not going to lie to you, I have toyed with it. I have gone back and forth so many times. So many times. And you know what I say? I say it's rivalry week. What the heck? Give me Auburn! Give me Auburn to beat Alabama. Why not? Why not? Let's have some fun with this thing. Auburn beats Alabama in the Iron Bowl. Let's get some chaos. Alabama takes their third loss, eliminated from playoff contention. They want DeBoer gone. One thing to miss the playoffs, another thing to lose to Auburn. Maybe you have the other way around, but it's still pretty dang bad. Give me Auburn to shock the nation, beat Alabama, sending shockwaves through the college football world, shockwaves through the playoffs, shockwaves through the SEC, maybe shockwaves in the coaching carousel, as Kalen DeBoer has been linked to a couple of opening jobs right now. This is going to be a fun rivalry week, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but we're going to go bold in the SEC, picking Vandy at Tennessee, picking Auburn over Alabama. Again, throw records out the window. Throw them out the window, because anything can happen in rivalry week. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. We've got more predictions coming your way. We're still talking Michigan, Ohio State, A&M, Texas, Miami, Pittsburgh. Those predictions coming your way in the coming days. These are just the five that we really are excited about, really that you got to watch out for. Games that, as you can see, hold massive stakes and will greatly shape the playoff race. Leave your thoughts below. Leave your predictions below. We want to hear from you, but until then, please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. That includes our website, thegridironexpert.com, home to our expert picks, namely our holiday special. Do not miss out on that. Again, the link in the description below. And once again, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.